Snowbird is probably one of the more obscure characters in Marvel Comics, having originated in a Wolverine comic as a member of a team called Alpha Flight, which is basically the Canadian Avengers. The team would go on to have their own comic series and go on a bunch of adventures, and Snowbird would be one of the core members of the team. But being such an important member of Alpha Flight in Wolverine history, does her design really reflect her character and her powers in a well-balanced way, or is she completely out of balance? Hello, my name is Gecko of Combo and Gecko, and this is the first episode of a series called Superhero Design Dossier, where I go through and break down heroes to see if their character design matches their powers and backstory. Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion from someone who went to an art high school and some time at an art college for design and art, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. So, Snowbird, whose real name is Naria? I don't know, is a demigoddess born from an Inuit goddess named Nirvana and a human man named Richard Easton. Just look at that man. Glorious. Her powers allow her to transform into any animal native to northern Canada and the Arctic, and as well as having some mystical elements like post-cognition and the ability to compel others, and also has mystical sense and resistance to mystical elements. Basically, she's resistant to magic. She has all the knowledge and wisdom of the other northern gods as well, but doesn't know how to fully utilize it since she's only a few years old. Amazing. Despite all these epic abilities, she has but only one weakness. She can't leave Canada or else she will die. I'm not joking. But later in the comics, this was resolved by her, dying and then being reborn, losing the curse placed on her. This seems to happen a lot in comics, I've noticed. So, given what we know, you'd imagine she'd be more inspired by the culture she and her mother are based off of, which is the Inuit culture. You know, with furs and more native look and hairstyle. But no, we get a blonde-haired white woman. What? Listen, I have no problems with having a blonde-haired white bombshell as a hero, but you think for a hero based on an Inuit culture, she'd look more like her real-life inspiration. The other Inuit gods and goddesses don't have this problem, but all of them accurately look the part. But then you get to Snowbird, over there sticking out like a sore thumb. I get she was the product of her time, where a lot of heroes were unfortunately white regardless of their backstory or heritage. This is one of my major complaints about the character, but we'll get into the others as well. Aside from the odd choice of race, her design is rather appealing to look at and well balanced. Yet incredibly boring at the same time. Don't get me wrong, the colors flow nice and give her that icy bird-like feeling she has since she hails from a northern country, but the design overall does not reflect a shapeshifter power set, instead something more like someone with basic ice powers. Another problem she has is though she looks mystical with the cape and headband, she doesn't look very original in the slightest. You know, Scarlet Witch and Enchantress have been rocking that design for years before Snowbird's inception, and it feels very uninspired. I can give the design this. At least it's very consistent across all her variants, save for the exception of one, which I feel is vastly superior for a character design for Snowbird. The ultimate variation of Snowbird is almost exactly what I would have expected from the character. Though I do have a problem with the outfit's color palette, everything else about it is perfect. The fur and the boots are just chef's kiss, as well as just being an overall more inspired design, while still being simple and not just Elsa in a superhero costume. My closing thoughts would be that, though I have been ripping into it, the design itself is not bad. The colors and outfit are very simple and appealing to look at, and have been consistent throughout the years in other variants. But I don't think it's very reminiscent of the culture she's from, or her abilities, and the abilities it does somewhat show off are not original in the slightest. I personally think this design would be more akin to someone with ice-related abilities, or something along the lines of Firestar, where the outfit accurately reflects the character's abilities. Thank you for watching. I'll go into depth on more characters, but Snowbird is just a simple character with a simple design, and I thought it would be a perfect start for my first video. So again, Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!